Still on the grind, still on the journey, never ending. Today I want to talk about something. I like boxing. I'm a big boxing fan. And sometimes when somebody's fighting and they win, the referee comes out, holds their arm up, and maybe if you're not a boxing fan, you don't even have to be. You've probably heard this phrase before at some point, but they go, and still, heavyweight champion, a lightweight champion, or whatever. But the point is, when they say and still, that means that they defended something. That means that they had a belt, they were a champion, somebody came and opposed them, they conquered and defeated that person, and they go, and still, which means that they continued to win, like they still won. And now I look at the battle with mental health, and it's like, if you're still here, you struggle with it for a long time, and you're still here, then it's like, in your way, you can say, and still, like, and still I'm a champion, and still I rise, and still I keep fighting, and still I keep going. And I just think that's powerful. I just think that you need to count your blessings, count your victories, and if you're still going and still fighting, then you can say, and still champion. Just like in a fight, you gotta learn how to bob and weave. And once you start to give all the negativity to the imposter, like I spoke about before in the previous video, like I'm gonna continue to speak about again and again and again and again and again, because that's what it is. Your real self is the champion. Your real self is the winner. Your real self, like I said, is the person who is holding the trophy and the confetti is coming down and everyone's cheering for him. The imposter is the one that never allows you to get to that point, because they constantly whisper to you, you're not good enough. If you try to do that, you'll fail. Think about all the bad things that can happen. Think yourself out of making any moves and fall back. Play it safe. That's the imposter. And that ruins your life, destroys your belief in yourself until you feel like you're nothing, and then you delete yourself. You know, what pisses me off is like seeing those stories of the 7, 8, 9, or 10-year-old committed suicide because they were being bullied, or because the imposter had taken over at a very young age and told them that they're not good enough, they're not attractive, they're not worthy. And my whole thing is about, just because I have such a hate for poor mental health and depression, because it destroys so many of us. And I feel like we end up playing the role of the imposter. We end up playing the role of the, I'm not good enough. If I go and do this, think about all the bad things that can happen, psych myself out. I'm not as good as that person. I don't look as good as that person. I'm not as smart as that person. And then the imposter takes over, and then we start acting as the imposter. And then when you try to get like positive messages, you can't really hear it or receive it until you're your real self. So like when people say, just get rid of fear, let the fear go, get rid of fear and push forward. You can do that as your real self, because you're supposed to do that as your real self. You're supposed to be able to be the champion, and you can handle anything, and you're capable, and you're skillful, and you're talented, and you're beautiful, and you're special. But the monster tells you all that stuff ain't true. So while you're still acting as the imposter and not being your real self, and then you see some type of motivational video or something and they say, get rid of the fear. You can't get rid of the fear while you're the imposter, because the imposter, that's all they know. Or if it's a video you're watching that talks about have confidence. When you're your real self, nobody even has to tell you. It's going to be a natural thing. You're naturally beautiful, talented, special, amazing, confident, belief in yourself. But when you're acting as the imposter, and the imposter is taking you over, then you watch a video and it says, be confident, love yourself. You can't hear the message. My point is, you can't hear the message until you become your real self. And the only way to be your real self, if you're not naturally that, and haven't just naturally become that, and haven't had the resources around or the examples around, just build on that real self and allow you to grow to be your real self. Most of us have imposters. Most of us have a media that's horrible, that wants you to compare yourself to everybody. Most of us have to grow, struggle, and then get to a point of enough is enough. And I reached that point, but it's not like enough is enough. I'm done. I'm going to delete myself. It's enough is enough. Time to finally fuck back and finally be me. But the reason I can do that now is because I finally learned how to compartmentalize and put things in okay, all the is going to go to the imposter and everything positive is going to go to me. As I said before, you're strong, talented, capable, beautiful, amazing, skillful, and can do anything that you put your mind to. And that sounds like a cliche, but it's the truth. Anytime it tells you and starts to whisper to you, like right now, I told y'all, when I make these videos, I'm learning how to rewire my brain. I'm learning how to fight an imposter who's going to tell me, hey, if you put the video out, we're not going to get any views. If you put the video out, we're going to make comments. They're going to clown you. They're going to figure out a way to knock you down. After that, I finally became the real me. The imposter cares about that. And nobody can bring me down because the biggest fight in my whole life and a lot of people's lives is the battle inside. Now, what can anyone else say? What is anyone else going to do? Oh man, I'm going to be embarrassed if if I do this, then this could go wrong. Oh man, if the real you is, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to stay focused. And I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to get better and better. Heal more and more. Spread those wings. And really finally take off into the sky. And be soaring through the clouds. Like we all supposed to be. Not grounded with doubt, fear, hesitation, and no longer letting the imposter walk you around on the leash. Thank anybody for watching. Be safe. Keep striving and thriving.